Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another Jarvi vlog. It is Thursday morning, so we're bringing you the absolute hottest topics in the staffing industry. My name is Zach.
I'm Allie.
I'm Bill.
And today we're having fun at a movie theater. We're just gonna camp out and talk about some labor stats because, drum roll, the new stats are out and we're here to talk about them.
Yay! Everybody loves statistics.
We're going to kick off with the unemployment rate. Right now, the national unemployment rate around 3.7%. Michigan's unemployment rate around 4.6%. In the Grand Rapids area, which we serve most often, 3.8% unemployment, up to 7.7% on the lakeshore, and 4.3% on the other side of the state. What are your initial thoughts on this? What are we thinking? This is like I don't know how many months in a row we've been sub 4, at least in the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah.
I mean, we seem pretty all over the place here in Michigan. I mean, some places we're a lot above the national average, we're below the national average, and other places here in the Grand Rapids area. So it's kind of interesting to think about maybe some of the reasons why that is. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that, Bill?
Yeah, it's so as we're moving into the holiday season, right? I would love to say the statistics are all mumbo-jumboed because of the time of the year we're in, but they seem pretty consistent.
They do.
From when we started initially doing, having our conversations back in the spring.
They're like all the same every month.
Yeah.
Nothing's shrinking, nothing's growing.
And so it makes you wonder, with the unemployment, what the turnover rate is in a lot of these places.
Right, seriously.
Because if we're staying consistent on the percentages of people who are looking for jobs, I would hope that some of those people that started looking in April found jobs. Well, that just means that a whole new group of people are not. That are now looking for jobs. So,
well, from the last election cycle, we heard over and over again how there are more jobs than people to fill the jobs. So it does make sense that if people are leaving jobs, they're able to find work probably pretty instantaneously.
Yeah.
We don't work in all sectors, right? We're mostly focused in the finance, IT, software development type of sector. So we see a lot of different activity than the nation as a whole, but interesting stuff.
Yeah, well, I do also think, though, too, you mentioned the sector that we're in. I just had a conversation just yesterday with somebody about, their IT business that's struggling. And so typically when that happens is there's always somebody there to, for lack of a better term, take over and gobble up the people. And a lot of those people then may not actively start looking for new jobs as they might decide to do contract work.
It's true.
And so they don't fall into the statistics because they're into the contract and they're not looking for a new job.
Yep. Kind of talking about what we just talked about, the rate of separations right now nationwide, 3.8%. So rate of separations, 3.8%. Unemployment rate, 3.7%. I'm seeing a similarity in numbers here.
Yeah.
You mean the numbers are lining up?
This is interesting, though. 87% of HR leaders consider improved retention. 87% of HR leaders consider improved retention a critical or high priority for the next 5 years. So a lot of people don't see this unemployment rate or rate of separations changing at all. We got to figure out how to keep our employees, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's been consistent with what we've talked about for the last 9 months.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
It's and from previous blogs that we've done is what's important. Yes, what have I always said, right? Where does recruiting start? Recruiting starts at retention. You keep your good people, you treat them very well, and that doesn't always mean salary, but that's part of the package, but you treat your good people very well, and they're not going to want to go. They're going to, instead, they're going to want to stay, they're going to become engaged, and they're going to become those people who are making the changes and the people who are growing the company and making the company bigger and better. And hopefully the people who don't want to be there, they're going to leave and they're going to find someplace and somewhere that makes them happy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Allie, what are you seeing as the top retention strategies? We talked about this a few blogs ago, but what are you still seeing?
So first I would say watch some of our old blogs. That'll give you some insight there on retention.
Good answer.
Wow.
But yeah, I think one of the biggest retention strategies that doesn't require maybe salary or money is just making your employees feel valued. So your top performers, make them feel valued. That could be something as simple as maybe a compliment, or do a public kind of shout out within the company, or you do some kind of reward. It doesn't have to be monetary again. So maybe you say, hey, on Friday, leave early or take Friday off. So just some of those things that make them feel valued and make them know that they're part of the company and they're working towards the bigger goal and that they're on board with those bigger goals.
Mm-hmm. We actually talked to one of the executives here, and they told us that they're doing the tertiary. What's the fourth ordinary? Primary, secondary, tertiary, whatever that fourth one is.
The fourth thing.
They're doing those types of things with their employees because it may not be like a lifelong commitment to work at a movie theater, but they're being transparent about the business practices and showing people the financials, so that way you're getting some added experience while you're on the job.
What's giving them those just transferable skills?
Right, transferable skills, absolutely. Okay, here's a key one, because this kind of plays into the last stat. 35% of employees say they'd look for a new job if they did not receive a pay raise in the next year. Do we really have to pay our employees more every year in order to keep them? Or is that just kind of like someone being threatening? Are you going to call their bluff?
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, right? If you're not willing to pay your employees, it's a catch-22. Mm-hmm. Employees want a raise, and I understand it, because I want one too. You want one, we all want one. Mm-hmm. But so your manager comes to you, and they've got to give 50 people raises. Mm-hmm. So now what? Mm-hmm. Well, they've got a pool of money or pool to work with, and I'm glad I'm not in this position, but they have to divide that up. And
it's
so
true.
They tell somebody, yes, we're going to give you a raise. However, that raise is 2, 3, 4, 5%. Now it's like, well, now I got a raise, but now it's not enough. It's not what I wanted. Why did you only give me 3%? And so sometimes you're screwed either way. But it goes once again. It goes back to that showing the appreciation, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, we appreciate everything you do for us, and we totally understand that maybe a 3% raise isn't really a very good indication of how we value you. Mm-hmm. I want you to know that we do value you. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we just can't give everybody a 15% raise. Mm-hmm. It's not feasible. And if we want to keep the business and sustaining itself, we can't do that. Mm-hmm. And I think it goes back to that communication. Having that communication with your people and explain to them, we value you. Mm-hmm. We want to do this. Unfortunately, we cannot do this.
Allie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to knowing, like I agree with Bill, just because it's not maybe the raise that you wanted or the biggest raise in the world, it comes back down to I'm still valued as an employee, and I did feel the appreciation because I did at least get something of a raise, so that I know the company is trying. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the biggest raise in the world, or it wasn't the raise that you were hoping for, but you should know, and you should walk away knowing I am valued as by the company because they did what they could.
Yep.
So.
And wouldn't you know it, we actually have another vlog, if you look back in our history, about ways that you can kind of incentivize employees without giving them raises or without offering benefits. There are a number of ways that even if your budget doesn't allow for that, that you can show your employees you care, because really it's what everybody wants, is to feel valued and accepted. And actually employees who are engaged and thriving are 59% less likely to look for a job with a different organization within the year. So it really drives that point home, that communication, involvement in the company's bottom line, and just openness and inclusion are things that people are looking for. Bill, any last thoughts?
I've said enough already. I
could talk all day with you.
It's end of the year. We're towards the end of November here. I don't really have a whole lot more to add.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be here next Thursday. Same place, probably different place, but same time. Next Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.